Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Today, we not only get to spend time with two people that I consider really great friends, but also we're going to talk about succeeding in the real estate market and hear their journey. They are a married couple, a power couple in real estate. I could have put that as the title. But we are going to give you some tips and learn all about how you too can succeed in this real estate market. I have Rebecca and Brian Hamaoui with me. Welcome, you guys. How you doing today?
Hey, Ted.
Hey, Ted. Doing awesome. How are you?
I am fantastic today. I keep telling you I think it is a certain day. I've lost a couple of days in my world. Don't worry, everybody. It's not long term. It just happens to be the way my brain thinks this morning. So before we get started, I told you that the audience loves an origin story. They want to know about you. They kind of like the journey. And of course, I'm a classy man, so we always want to start ladies first. So Rebecca, share a little bit about you and your journey with my audience.
Awesome. Well, I met Ted probably back in 2008, 2009, when we were both part of a charitable organization, and his lovely wife. Back then, I had just moved to America. I moved here in 2007. I moved here with nothing. Pretty much, my parents had moved here a couple of years prior. I had done a law degree in the UK, so I had a background in property. And when I came, I thought, well, what can I do? I'll get into real estate. 2008. Solid choice.
Well, you just went for it. For those of you who don't remember or maybe heard your grandparents talk about it, 2008, a crazy time to be in real estate, let alone get into it.
Yep. And I'm still here to tell the tale. So, obviously I did something right. So yeah, I moved here in 2007, jumped into real estate. My mom was in real estate here as well, sort of building her business. They'd been here a couple of years. So I didn't actually join with my mom. I went to a different brokerage. Fast forward through those years, it was definitely up and down and a roller coaster. And, I was broke completely. In fact, I short sailed my condo to survive. It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, but consistency and perseverance is kind of my mantra. And here we are now. 2019, I opened my own brokerage, Bella Trae Realty. We have a wonderful team, and we have a huge long-term property management division of that as well. We manage about 300 residential homes.
Wow.
And then just recently, we pivoted a little bit and we separated those brokerages. Bella Trae is going to stay as a brokerage handling the property management, and my team, my sales portion, have all moved across with me to Real Broker, which is a nationwide brokerage, and Canada. And I jumped in with both feet, like I'm sort of known for doing, and also took on the role as broker for the state of Florida for them. So I have two broker hats I wear now.
Wow, you are busy, and you have a beautiful daughter.
I do, yes, we do.
All right, and you have a very handsome husband who also happens to be on this with us. Thank you for sharing that, Rebecca. Brian, how are you today? And tell us a little bit about you.
Good. I'm not sure how to follow that up.
She's so succinct. It's so good.
You know what? It's daily though. I'm trying to just follow her in her footsteps because she's just a pretty outstanding person. A driver in the family and a driver in the business. Very similar. I had a pretty humble beginning. I was born in the U.S. I grew up in South America and Venezuela. And I started my journey as an entrepreneur, learning from my dad. My dad was a big entrepreneur. He had his hands into everything, but his last project was actually a hotel. And I think that's where I ended up getting both my real estate bug, because he was a builder as well, and my hospitality bug. And so we ended up moving here in 1997. And we opened up very early. We bought a couple vacation rentals, some investment homes, tried that out, early stages. 1999, we ran those till about 2001. And then he decided to, what I call dropped us off and left us and went back home. And so I went to school here. I went to Valencia, and then I went to Rollins College for a little while and decided school wasn't for me and decided to open up a business. My dad passed away all of a sudden in 2003. And left us with absolutely nothing. So very similar to Rebecca, started from the ground up. I lived in my car for a little bit, and some family friends took us in here in Orlando. Ended up working here at some restaurants. So did catering for about 4 years, and then decided to venture into the marketing and branding world. And a gentleman ended up taking me in. I started my first business by telling him that I had a branding and licensing background. And that was my first business. So I had no clue what I was doing, ran that business for about 4 years. We ended up with some really big licenses with Warner Brothers, Harley Davidson, and a whole bunch of really big fun projects. And then in 2007, I met Rebecca. And was it 2007? 2008. And 2008, she decided to tell me, I think you need to do something else. Then I met her parents and they said, you should probably think about doing property management. So I jumped in, sold everything I had, and started our first vacation rental property management company. And that was the beginning of it. We ran that for about 10 years. In the middle of that, we built some software for the vacation rental industry. And in 2016, we sold the property management to focus on the software. And then in 2018, we got acquired, moved to Colorado for a little bit, came back in 2019, bought the brokerage. I ended up working for a couple of software houses on the vacation rental space. And here we are today. I joined the brokerage last year, full time, having a blast, teaching people, doing a whole bunch of stuff in the industry, both short term and real estate. So we're having fun.
So much to unpack.
I was going to say, I'll catch you on that later, Ted.
That I've learned, I did not know. It's always interesting to me, people's journeys, and I feel like people need to hear it because there's a lot. And one of our topic today is going to be about success and maneuvering through or navigating through the current real estate market. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there who have been through similar things, and they're always looking for that success story. So thank you for showing them that it is doable, it is attainable. I think Rebecca said persistence and consistency. One of you definitely talked about that. And I think that's what you have to do, no matter what you want to get involved in. So let's talk, before we get into the nitty gritty of real estate, what is it like as a couple to work together?
Difficult.
Tell me why.
It is difficult. It's you have to find a good balance. And, we try to not bring work to home as much as we possibly can. We're actually fortunate enough that we have a very, very incredible daughter that takes us different places and is achieving different things, but it also gives us the ability to detach from work a little bit, enjoy her and her successes, and just spend time with her. So I think from that perspective, we're able to depart from the day-to-day work and concentrate on her and what she's trying to achieve. And that helps us kind of separate ourselves from that. But in general, I mean, we both have our own roles, and Rebecca can probably chime in or correct.
Yeah, I think we
have very defined roles. So I think that also helps us. If I think what happens in most marriages when they try to work together, if you don't have a defined role and you don't have expectations that you guys are setting and then meeting, that becomes very, very difficult, both at home and at work.
What about you,
and
Rebecca?
we both have our strengths and our challenges. I don't like to say weaknesses. Brian's incredibly creative, which is phenomenal and frustrating at the same time, because I am, I'm the process person, I'm the rule follower. That's why I'm the broker, I guess. But it's great if I say to him, hey, I want to host this event next week to educate agents, etc. He will throw together this phenomenal marketing campaign, like quicker than I've even finished my thought process. And I just couldn't do that. I've never had an artistic or creative flair to me, not without a lot of thought and process to go into it. And he's like, let's just get to market, get it out there. And I would still be thinking about it and processing it. And we're already done the event and finished. So, I think it's a great balance in that way. I do have to rein him in occasionally, but
come on now.
I don't know special creativity. I guess it works. We were married 11 years.
It obviously works. I mean, I can share that Stacy worked with me when I had my insurance agencies. And I knew it was time for that to stop when she was coming in earlier than me and staying later. So there has to be a defined role. I agree. And there has to be a balance and an agreement where you can have those conversations. She'll tell you I fired her, and that is absolutely what I did, because that my marriage was much more important than us working together. All right, let's talk about this market, because one of the number one questions, probably top 5 questions I always get are, how are other realtors doing it? What's going on in the market, Ted? You talk to so many real estate professionals. What are they seeing and doing differently? Because we have had a shift, however you want to define it. It's definitely different than when there were 40 cash offers, $50 million over asking price. It's shifted a bit. So tell us your perspective, because I think people like success stories and they love creative people who are doing things differently and successfully. So I don't know if Rebecca wants to take that as the process person, or Brian wants to take that as the creative. I'll let you guys.
I'm really excited by this market. It doesn't particularly scare me, or people. There's no doom and gloom from my point of view. Yes, it is a difficult market. It's a different market, but real estate is and always will be cyclical. So having started this in 2008, I feel like if we survived, then we can get through anything. It's sort of in the back of my head when I'm dealing with this. It's not a bad market. I enjoy it. The other day I was doing a deal and I got to negotiate again. I'm like, wow, this is great. As a seller's agent, I used to just say, here's what I want, take it or leave it. And, I got some back and forth, and we had a good old, who speaks first loses kind of thing. It was fun. It was fun to do real estate again, rather than just churning through those deals. Don't get me wrong. The busy time was fun too, but a different kind of fun. And, I think like anything, you have to look at what you can bring to it. Whether that's experience, whether that's a specialty in a certain niche area or marketing technique. But, there's lots of people, someone said to me the other day, are there lots of people making money in this market? Yes. Are there lots of people not making money in this market? Yes. The market's the same. So what are you doing to get that portion of the market? And that really stuck in my head that's absolutely true. There's still plenty of business to have. You may have to hustle a little more. The last couple of years was like fishing in a bucket. So now you've got to get out there and actually market yourself and be a real estate agent, which I think is phenomenal.
Back to basics, I feel like.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Brian, how about you as the deemed creative person by Rebecca? You have some cool things coming up and some things that you all are doing that I think a lot of people will be interested in.
Yeah, I think, it's an interesting market for sure. I think what most people tend to forget is that they're running a business. And so being a real estate agent really means that you're running your own real estate business. Whether you're the broker, or you're an agent, you have to generate those leads. You have to think as a business person. And if business people have a bad day, it doesn't mean that they stop doing business. They try to figure out another way to get to market, sell their product, and continue going. And so from our perspective, that's exactly what we're doing. One of the, I think, advantages that we have is that we understand different facets of the real estate market, and that's really helped us thrive. We're very knowledgeable on selling, your first home. We can sell investment homes. We can sell short-term rentals. We can sell long-term rentals. And one of the markets that a lot of people tend to forget or don't understand is the vacation rental market. Now, it's a flaw in the Central Florida market because we are the largest market in the entire world. I mean, we've got about 50,000 vacation rentals in Orlando alone, in Central Florida. And about 3/4 of the business is done here in Central Florida. So not knowing that business here is a flaw of real estate agents because the market's just so huge. So what we're doing is we're actually going to start the very first seminar on how to sell short-term rentals, which means we're going to teach you everything that you need to know about selling a short-term rental, what it means to have a short-term rental, how to deal with the investor types, how to get mortgages, how to, all of the lending side, title, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to roll it all up into a few-week series. And hopefully we give enough tools that real estate agents learn how to sell it, feel comfortable selling it, and then can start to generate new business with a different approach.
Sorry, something just decided to make a buzz. I don't know if you all can hear it, so I had to mute myself for a second. I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions, is that that is a difficult market, and unless you 100% know everything up front, that you're going to fail in it. I hear that from realtors because it's structured differently. You have to know different. I feel like than your basic traditional real estate transaction or buy sell. You do have to understand how it works, who your target market is, and how to market it within the actual real estate community too. So you're going to put on a series of these, right? And tell us, is there one? When is one coming up? Have you set a date yet, or is this a TBD or TBA?
So TBD, yes, it's probably going to be middle to end of November, and I think you're going to be attending that one as one of our
I
guest
will.
speakers. Yeah. We've got the location finalized. We're just trying to narrow down the dates just to make sure that all of the guest speakers can attend, and then we'll be rolling that out. It is going to be a lot of fun. We'll start with an introduction, and then as the seminars move forward, we'll find different locations. What we're trying to do is actually take you guys into communities that do short-term rentals. So not only do we want to take you or tell you about the short-term rental, we want to give you a feel for what the short-term rental industry looks like. We're one of the only locations that has purpose-built vacation rentals. We don't just operate a unit, we operate communities. And so Central Florida is built up very hotelish, very hotelisk type of inventory. We've got amenities, giant slides with the restaurants and the bars and all of this kind of stuff. And so it's a lot of fun. You just need to dive in and understand it.
For the audience, even for the realtors who might not understand, is there a difference, and what is it between Airbnb and vacation rentals?
It's exactly the same thing. Airbnb is vacation rentals. Vacation rentals is the overarching unit. So the industry itself, Airbnb is a product of vacation rentals. It's called a distribution channel. So we have various distribution channels. Airbnb is one, VRBO. A lot of people are very familiar with them. Then you have companies like Expedia and Booking.com that are also, they're exactly the same as Airbnb. They're just a different channel for you to market your units on. And those are the type of questions that a lot of people don't understand that we're going to teach you guys how to do.
It's basically, I like to reference, it's like saying you're going to get the vacuum out versus getting the Dyson out, right? It's just a brand that's become synonymous with it's a bigger known name than the idea itself. That's all Airbnb is.
And I think one of the things that people don't understand is it's not, you can't just go, hey, I'm going to buy a home as an investment and immediately I can turn it into a vacation rental / Airbnb. There's a lot of rules and regs and restrictions and things that you have to know. And also listing that property wherever you want to list it, whatever channel, distribution channel, you have to know all of those rules and regs. And I think where a lot of people are falling to the wayside is they don't realize that, and they get super involved in it and they're in and out. I've talked to a lot of realtors who said, I really thought I was going to be good at the Airbnb vacation rental game, and I'm not. And my question to them always is, did you do any training? Did you sit with anybody? Are you part of a brokerage that actually encourages this and knows what they're doing? And of course, the answer is always resoundingly no. So training the realtors out there, providing the real estate community with the tools and with the understanding of what goes into it, you guys are going to provide that platform on a regular basis. So I'm super excited about that because the market's out there. Like Rebecca said, I think people get too focused on the sky is falling, Chicken Little, and it's all about where you're coming from, mindset. So if you focus on it being a lack environment instead of an abundant environment, you're going to get exactly what you expect. So you want to align yourself with people like Rebecca and Brian. So how is the best way that it goes by so fast, right? How is the best way that anybody who's interested in learning more about the upcoming classes, learning more about your brokerages and what you're doing, how can they reach you?
They can call me, they can text me, they can pigeon me, whatever they want. I'm always available. I work 24/7 because, find something you love and it's not work. So I don't mind. The only time I'm not working is really when I'm watching Scarlett race around a field. So, my cell phone's 407-803-8800. They're welcome to text me, find out. I can shoot them the link to the Eventbrite once we've got that up and running. We would love them to join us. We are going to do some in person, some virtual. So, we can't beat the in-person events. We really need to get back to those. And that's how we really learn.
And that's how we connected with you again. And that's why this has all happened all over again. In person. We love in person.
Me too. And we had planned to do in person today, but I love the way this looks. So it's kind of, either way, because I love spending time with you all. So if you guys are out there watching, they are just as wonderful and engaging and funny in person. This isn't just a persona. These are real people. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing the show, is so that other people can see the real people out there instead of just the social media posts. All right, you guys are a joy. You guys reach out to Rebecca and Brian. I will post their cell phone number and their email addresses and whatever else, anything you could possibly want. Their pigeon address. That's funny. I'm wondering how Jen
follow me on Instagram.
He's gonna have to look that up. God bless you all. But thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate your friendship and I appreciate your commitment to educating the community, because I think the ones who are falling to the wayside are really just lacking education and direction. And so you guys are going to provide that for them. Rebecca and Brian Hamaoui, thank you guys for being on the show. I appreciate you both.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate you.
All right, Bella Trae Realty.com is scrolling across there, but I'll give you guys Rebecca and Brian's contact information in the comments below. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.